Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy MRC Core. Sorry I don't have face cam today. I am a sweaty mess having moved stuff, but I do have a special surprise for you all. So I joined a double battles tournament where I have my first opponent, Sai, who I was very worried about facing because they're a tier contributor, and so I knew immediately they were going to be really tough competition for me. So we actually ended up playing 3 battles. I was too nervous to record while doing them, so I'm just doing post-analysis. But, so we have the first battle that we have. I have a Blaziken and a Qwilfish lead versus Ninetales and Cursola. Now, this battle, I did not like my lead matchup because I know you're thinking, but it's a Blaziken and Qwilfish versus a Ninetales. My problem was Cursola because it has such a stupid coverage pool, and it's such a high special attack. If it was like Specs or something, it could have just O-code Blaziken or O-code Qwilfish, and I was kind of, scared of that. I didn't have a choice, really. The Ninetales is also just faster than everything. The problem I've always had with Blaziken, no matter what format it is that you need a speed boost first before it gets fast. It's not fast before that speed boost, and that is the whole thing that brings Blaziken down to earth. Otherwise, it'd be a crazy wild mon, but it's just not because of that first turn. It needs that speed boost. But yeah, so I protect the Blaziken turn 1 as the Aurora Veil goes up. I wanted damage on Ninetales, and in case they tried to freeze dry the Qwilfish for damage instead, I could have taken it out. And so I ended up going into Sceptile there on what I was expecting to be Hydro Pump into the Blaziken slot. I'm also not alone. I'm joined by Knockoff Knight, Jester, if
I was just trying to not interrupt you. Yeah, I'm here as well.
Alright. Anyway, before I get more into this, subscribe, because it goes a long way to supporting the channel, and also you can check out the links in the description below as I do make other content, including music. I'm a rapper. But yeah, you have any comments on my plays? Like, just feel free to shoot them out, because you are more experienced in doubles than I am, and I'm a noob, so So we learned that it was weak armor. I'm actually really thankful that it was weak armor Cursola, because if it had been Perish Body, that would have been another problem in and of itself. And that defense drop actually comes into play a little later on, if I'm not mistaken. But they do Hydro Pump Sceptile and get a crit there, which is kind of nasty. Not that it really matters. I protect just to scout. I double protect to scout just to see if it's, choice lock, to see what the Copperajah would do. So we know it's Sheer Force, Life Orb, Copperajah because Iron Head over Heavy Slam. And I made the Rotom play just to try to out-predict that Cursola. Because again, Cursola's a threat. I end up sending in Octillery here because it's moody. I wasn't happy when I saw the set Octillery was. It wasn't Protect, it was Substitute.
Oh, dude, that's...
Yeah.
That's ass.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Like, if it had been Protect, Substitute, completely different story. Because I could use that, but it just happened to be Protect, like, just Substitute 3 attacks, and I'm like, I don't like that. It was actually kind of detrimental to the Octillery, and that's why I did not Dynamax it. But when we have the Hydro Pump, and Rotom eats it, I needed Rotom to eat it so that I could overheat Copperajah so it wouldn't raw power with the Octillery. As I do get behind a Substitute, which was the whole plan there, and I was hoping to get Evasion Boost or something like, good, but I just didn't get the right type of boost with it, so.
You can't get Evasion Boost in Gen 8 with Moody.
You can't?
No, they fixed that. That's why Justin Nut plays Gen 7 anything goes, because in Gen 8 you can't get Evasion Boost.
Whoa! So you can't get
I also think they got rid of Accuracy Boost with it as well, but I can't say that one for fact.
Bro, I didn't know that. I thought Moody was just any stat. I'm so... Look, I will never...
They nerfed it.
I'm glad they nerfed it. Evasion is broken.
It's like minimized Muck back in VGC days. Muckalola used to run like a minimized set with Big Papa Berry Recycle.
Oh yeah.
AIDS.
Yeah. I went Quillfish there to intimidate Flygon and just swap out of an easy kill on the Rotom. So pretty easy play. And I protected on the Quillfish there because I don't know how much they think Quillfish is a threat because they do keep targeting it. And I'm looking at the Octillery like that should be the real threat they're targeting, but it just seems to not really be the case. And unfortunately for me, I keep getting Spadef drops from Moody. Like, I'm offensive and physically defensive, but it's not going the right way. Like, I'm still not getting the correct boost that I need for it. So, you know, it's whatever. I protect on Blaziken here because I wanted to Ice Beam Cursula, get rid of it. And they did a really smart play there and Encored me. But that's pretty much what made me lose the game is that Encore. So, you know, I go to Quillfish to just get an Intimidate off. I was hoping to maybe freeze the Azumarill, but it did not end up happening. Quillfish has been a savior, though, as it just keeps intimidating, doing the right thing. It's great typing, you know. And they protect on Azu there. Really, really smart play. There's nothing I can do about it.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Azu is what actually wins the game at the end of this battle. But I needed to hit that Azu because I knew what I had on my team. And I still could have won this, but I misplayed, as you'll see in a moment. This Sudowoodo play. I Psychic Fangs to break screens, because that's very important. And now they can't set up screens again because Hail's gone. So they have to swap out, swap in. It's 4% on Tail, so kind of dangerous. What I should have done this play is close combat the Sudowoodo into Liquidation. Because I Poison Jab there, wanting to hit Azu, of course. Now, I missed Play Rough. Had I landed that Play Rough, I believe the Sudowoodo would have dropped to the Liquidation. Not 100% sure, but I should have honestly close combated into Liquidation. Because that miss mattered a lot there, because it got the head smash off on me. The reason I didn't want to close combat is because I didn't want to get Encored 1, and I also didn't want to, you know, get Moonblasted at -1, because I actually could have done quite a bit of damage. So, it's just a very, very unfortunate miss. And they keep going after that Quillfish, which, at this point, it's too low HP for the Azu. But as you can see, that head smash absolutely ruins me. They Sucker Punch trying to get rid of the Quillfish. I don't know why. And they did the same play again. They tried to Sucker Punch the Quillfish.
They were trying to kill the Quillfish because at that point I think they were afraid that you would be able to get like Dynamax off and pull some magic out with the Quillfish. Because offensively, if it has an ice move, it had coverage for everything on their team that was left at that point, which I think is why they kept spamming into the Quillfish slot. They were just terrified of it, which I kind of understand. And part of me at one point in time during this, like watching this, was like, dude, I know it's just a 26%, but D-Max the Quillfish just to like make him focus it down and then Max Guard keep it alive to get some free things going. But I ended up like in the back of my head, I was like, A, I can't ghost, and B, that's really a 50-50 type of situation.
And then we move on to the second battle. So this was one where I thought I was going to lose and that I was going to be out of the tournament because of this lead matchup. I was terrified.
Oh yeah, this is the Ninetales lead one.
Yeah. So it was Ninetales lead, destroys Ice Cube, Freeze Dry, Oko's Mantine. I was so terrified of this because it was such a problem. Like, if it had been just anything not electric type or freeze dry, I would have kept the Mantine in because Ninetales literally cannot ever touch Mantine. Like, I don't care if you're +6, Solar Beam's doing like 12%. But yeah, so, you know, this was not the lead matchup I wanted. Now, I went to Gardevoir. The Trace didn't really do anything the whole game, which is whatever. I go into the Clawitzer because I have no better play to make. They end up fake outing on Mew, which is a really good play. And they actually got the fake out every single time. I should have protected every time the Mew came out, but I didn't because I'm not used to this, so I don't think about fake out a lot of the times. Even when I see it. They put rocks up like a boss, because they were like, yeah, I've won this game. Now the
I think they just put rocks up because you had SQ Mantine trying to chip away at them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you start getting prediction heavy and using Mantine's immunity, like immunities and stuff, depending on what his team is, it can really be a huge helper.
Oh yeah, 100%. So I ended up going Mr. Rhyme just to help the, to get the Manhunt off the field again. I ended up helping him Psyshocking to make sure the Ninetales died, and the reason that I wanted that is just so that, it wasn't there for Ice-Q later, it wasn't there for the Zamazenta, and what's the other thing Ninetales was good for? And it couldn't set up Sun, because I don't know what these other 3 Pokemon are at this point, so I'm thinking, oh, well, I don't want them to have some random Chlorophyll user or another fire type, like, if God forbid they have, like, a Darmanitan. One of those things.
Yeah.
You don't want... Nobody wants sun-boosted Darmanitans Flare Blitzes. They just don't.
I do. I want to...
You, my sir, are a masochist. Anyway.
No, I just have Flame Body.
Well, anyway, I ended up doing...
Can't burn
Flash
fire
Fire.
type with Flame Body. I was gonna say Flash Fire, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I'll eat that all day.
Like, I'm trying to get that burn on that bitch,
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to get that shit, son.
They end up swapping out from Mr. Rhyme into Kingler. I think fearing maybe the Moonblast on Mr. Rhyme. Which is a good play. It also is something for the Zamazenta slot, because I think it was more the Zamazenta, they didn't want to get the shield, whatever the steel move, Behemoth Dash.
Yeah.
Which I did do. They Psychic on Mew. I have a Spadef drop, which really sucks from that first Psychic from
I
Mr.
was
Rhyme.
saying this Spadef drop hurt a lot.
Yeah,
because Mew really wasn't doing a lot of damage to you. I mean, like the first Psychic for Mr. Rhyme did 35%, and then Mew did 43%, so Mew wouldn't have been doing a whole hell of a lot to you. You could have lived at one more Psychic if it wasn't for the Spadef drop.
That's literally what it came down to, so it just limited Zamazenta's time, which I'm fine. Zamazenta is not the strongest Pokemon, but it is a good wall. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a great job at grabbing aggro at the very least, which was extremely important. I mean, he spent 3 turns attacking into that slot that could have been used to chip away at your Gardevoir and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it definitely did a fantastic thing for you. And again, it comes down to, like I said, with the G-Max and the Focus. Sometimes just your opponent's attention is more valuable than actually getting attacks off like KOs or anything on a Pokemon. Because Gardevoir was just sitting here with +1 Moonblast getting tossed out left and right while he's swinging at the Zamazenta that hadn't done a fucking thing.
Yeah. I even got damage off on the Mew there, which went a long way because it got rid of the Citrus Berry. I wanted the Zydog to die because I don't want it to be in father form. Now we had a Scarf Buzzwole in the back, which was super clutch because it's going to take out the Mew this turn, surprise KO. Buzzwole has a lot of different sets it can run, but Scarf is one of them. We got lucky with Scarf. And my thought process was it could just OHKO the rest of his team depending on what it is. Which, yeah, I was right. It literally can OHKO everything here. So my opponent does really smart play, but I think this was a slight misplay. I think they should have Dynamaxed the Executor and went for the Overgrowth move on the Gardevoir and just tried to... I don't even know, really. Because what Dynamaxing the Mr. Rhyme did is it meant that it couldn't freeze dry the Mantine, and I knew that.
Yeah.
And I went for that.
I think the reason he Dynamaxed Mr. Rhyme over Executor is if he G-Maxes Executor and you double target it because of its slow speed stat, he just wasted his entire D-Max. It just died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he had +1 Moonblast or +1 Max Starfall, plus +1 Link's Life on AP.
I mean, just to that effect.
He could have Max started, but it still would have been the same thing. You'd have to get the double Max start off then. I think that was his thought process. I could be incorrect, but that's the, that was my mindset there. Yeah. And although Iggy's a better D-Max in this specific situation, it can get KO'd way too easily. It literally, you don't want the D-Max to grab aggro to Iggy. Yeah. Because if it just gets knocked out, then you have Mr. Rhyme versus the world.
Oh yeah, 100%. So this was like pretty much the last turn of the game. Now, this was a 50-50, and I managed to get it right. My opponent spent, I think, like 2 minutes thinking about this turn. Because my original play was Hurricane the Executor, Icicle Crash Executor, and Hurricane the Mr. Rhyme. And I ended up not hitting the Executor slot because I was like, wait, they could harvest their berry back and draw the aggro. Because Executor can beat everything but this Mantine. And they're going to lose their Dynamax this turn on Mr. Rhyme. And if they lose their Dynamax, it means that they can freeze dry the Mantine. So I was thinking of the end game where all I need is Mantine versus Executor, and I win that. Because I've gotten my speed lowered, so I roost after it Energy Balls. And then I still have, super effective Hurricanes on it. So my play, I liquidated the Mr. Rhyme as a max Mindstorm, which does give me Citrus Berry. And then I scalded into the Mr. Rhyme as well, which got rid of it. That was huge. That was huge, because it meant that I had one Pokemon that's faster than Executor that just destroyed it with that move. And that battle literally came down to the wire. Just straight down to the wire. Very, very good. Very well played by my opponent. Yeah. So then
it's the last battle.
Yeah. Then we have this. So this is the last battle here. Now, I was blessed with a decent lead. I have Articuno, which is a monster, and I have Milotic. Now, you might be thinking, I swapped out of Milotic into Gourgeist because I obviously did not want Energy Ball, Sleep Powder to go out on it from Vileplume. And I looked up what moves these things could learn because this was a very important part. I'm very happy that I did not see Toxic in Swampert's arsenal, because I know in singles random format, it gets Toxic sometimes. So, very happy to see it didn't have that in this format. And obviously Vileplume is just a monster, because Pollen Puff heal, Sleep Powder spam. Because there's no Sleep Claws in doubles random, which is crazy.
Or doubles at all.
Oh,
I don't think doubles at all has it. I'm not 100% certain on doubles OU. I know VGC there's no sleep rules. I know there's no sleep rules.
Yeah, sleep is... I think sleep is still the most broken status, so I really hope we get Drowsy come Gen 9, and we get Freeze Burn instead of just Frozen, because those are the two most broken statuses.
No, you're wrong. Okay, if anything, it needs to be buffed, right? Make it last 12 turns.
I'm banning you from the server now.
Well, I have my own server, so...
I'm banning you from that server. Just give me enough time to hack. Turn 1, I swap out into Gourgeist. We learned that everything has Citrus Berries, which we already knew. We Ice Beam the Vileplume. I didn't want to miss Hurricane, so I wanted guaranteed damage. The Ice Beam does do a lot. We get rid of that Citrus Berry. I do make a misplay with this Gourgeist. I mean, you can call it a misplay, because I Poltergeisted, but once this Vileplume is down, that's pretty much good game, because of the Milotic and what it is. So, what I do here is I Sleep Powder the Articuno, and I get behind a sub with the Gourgeist after the Sleep Seed. And they ended up sludge bombing the Gourgeist and getting the poison. The poison's actually what mattered the most, because that ends up...
Yeah, that sludge bomb poison was so bad.
Yeah, but it was really useful information, because they don't always get sludge bomb on Vileplume. And I don't think it was strength up, because I think they would have gone for it at some point.
Dude, that's weird that they don't always get Sludge Bomb. Did they just not run a poison slot in that?
Yeah, it's, when I've gotten Vileplume before on the ladder, I've gotten Sleep Powder, Pollen Puff, Energy Ball, Strength Sap. No Sludge Bomb.
That
Sometimes I
is
don't even
crazy as hell.
Yeah, sometimes I get pollen puff, sleep powder, strength sap, aromatherapy. It's weird. Like sometimes you
That
get
is
no
weird.
stab on it. Yeah. So Vileplume, as good as it is, sometimes it doesn't get one of its stab moves, or sometimes none of them. Very
Dude, that's
rarely,
weird.
but I have seen the aromatherapy pollen puff set as its only attack, which is like, wow. So pure support Vileplume, which is still scary because sleep powder spam, strength sap being what it is, and aromatherapy support. But yeah, so they do get the poison, which is very unfortunate for me. My citrus berry does pop, which gives me a little bit more longevity. They end up going into Swampert as I sub here. The reason I sub is just because I want to waste up the Pelipper slot, get it weakened a little more through the Leech Seed. I don't know what its item is. The Vileplume does come out. And we Hurricane that Pelipper with Articuno, does a massive amount of damage. They do get a Tailwind up. Now this Tailwind is actually pretty scary, but it doesn't end up doing a lot, fortunately. Now, this is the turn that I'll say I misplayed because I Poltergeisted into the Vileplume, knowing that it already had its berry eaten. I thought they might actually, I thought they might try to double out from Vileplume into Swampert because... Wait, did Tailwind... Because if they miss Sleep Powder. I thought they might think, if I miss Sleep Powder, Articuno has guaranteed Hurricane on Vileplume. That was my logic of Poltergeisting that slot, so it is what it is. So I think it was a slight misplay. I probably should have Power Whipped into Pelipper, but it's fine. Yeah, as they do end up Sludge Bombing the Solgaleo, which I think completely walls the Vileplume. And I just protected there to waste a turn. They end up getting Stealth Rocks up with Swampert, which is pretty smart. We do Ice Beam though, as they let Vileplume go down, which is pretty much where it all went south for them. Now this was a really good play here, going into Scrafty. They fake out the Articuno, which, you know, that helps a lot. And I had sacked Gourgeist just because I want to bring something in for free, which is my Milotic. Now I was taking a gamble here because I was like, I feel like they can't beat the Milotic. Like, I thought they really couldn't because the set that the Milotic was Coil, Muddy Water, Hypnosis, and Recover. And that's all Milotic gets in doubles format, random doubles. And I was just so happy with it. I was ready to go to town. So I coil up once, Scrafty is no longer a problem, and I was hoping to get an accuracy drop. I even had, Jester was in the call, and I was like, man, I've never wanted to see you get an accuracy drop more than just right now, because it was competitive Milotic.
Dude, that was the funniest shit ever, like you said, yeah. I don't usually hope my friends get hacked out, but like in that exact moment, I was like, if he gets the Muddy Water hack drop on my lot, that's just a free nasty plot, and you just start hammering.
Oh yeah,
I hope you get dropped. Like, it was, oh man.
Yeah.
I felt bad saying it, but like, dude, that was so
I
funny.
just want to make a note. That was -2 accuracy, and I landed a Hurricane on that Scrafty.
Dude, I thought the same thing. I was like, this motherfucker didn't say a word during the battle about it. I was just sitting here like, he just clicked it and it landed, and he was like, yeah, standard, typical. I'm not even shocked. Just what?
My logic was, even if it dies, I don't think anything is killing the Milotic at this point. Especially now that he got the accuracy drop, which gives me a nasty plot boost. Because this Surfetch comes out now. I brought out Hippowdon because I didn't really think it was going to do a lot. They knock off my Citrus Berry, I'm like, yeah, whatever. And as you see, high horsepower, the Surfetched. Milotic is still here, just kicking and vibing. A Dynamax here, get rid of that Surfetch because I don't want to take a close combat. They Muddy Water in Hippowdon's life because I put up Rain, but that's fine. Now they do get another accuracy drop. Surprise, surprise, I'm now an invincible Milotic with an astronomical special attack. We bring out Solgaleo, and I hit up the Cosmic Power Eternatus with the nasty Psychic Thing. This does a lot of damage. Now, I want you to know something. Eternatus is a disgusting creature because it is so bulky. Now look at this turn. Psychic Fangs is 37. Citrus Berry pops it pretty much back up to where it was. This Max Geyser does more than the super effective stab Psychic Fangs did to it. That is insane.
Yeah, that's rain boosted, and you still had a nasty plot on him. Because he had +2 Spadef, you had +4 special attack. Rain boosted Max Geyser. You were just like, alright, stop fucking caring.
Yeah. And I went with the Regieleki here. It does Electroweb, 100% accurate. Got rid of Pelipper there because I didn't want, confusion. And then it just came down to all I had to do was land a move. But I had even gotten an accuracy drop. The only way they could have beat the Milotic was they had to crit. And I don't even think a crit would have killed me. Because it's a Milotic at the end of the day. So, very well
I think
played.
from 68% a crit Max Quake might have killed you.
Yeah, maybe Max Quake, but like my other play was Recover, but I just didn't think that was gonna happen. So I just went for the attack, got rid of it.
I was gonna say, you don't play thinking your opponent's gonna crit you, because then you're giving them more chances to crit you, so you did the right play there.
Yeah, no, like that's why I didn't recover. Because I was like, I don't need to, I just attack and win the game. It's my best chance. Now if I was at like 28%, maybe then I recover. Because then I'm like, oh, I recover here to get back to a healthy amount, and then they'll lose Dynamax. I either recover again or just Muddy Water. Like, that was my logic.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been the logic there, but I didn't have to. I was at 68%. I didn't think a Max Quake was killing me. I'm at +2. The only way they could have was a crit. It's just very well played. And I'm obviously faster, so I went for Muddy Water. Landed, killed Swampert. One of them two, probably.
That sounds very rude. They didn't deserve that. I do give it that hate.
I mean, it's a Zarude. It's still a good Pokemon at the end of the day.
But it's really rude.
Oh, I see.
He's trying to make a pun, and we're just ignoring him.
It's not working.
Everybody hates you for this, just a nut.
Well, that's my whole point in life, right? Just to piss people off. I mean, it's very entertaining.
I mean, you're right.
Anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully we will continue to keep climbing in this tournament. I'm really excited about it. Jester's another coach in the tournament. You should definitely check out his YouTube channel. Link should be in the description below. He's bringing it back, guys. He's bringing it back. You're all welcome. The God is bringing it back.
I was gonna say, I just gotta record. At this point, I have enough. I can make 2 or 3 videos. I just gotta record.
Yep. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you want to see videos similar to this one. And we're going to see all of you in the next video that we do. Take care, everybody.